side with Mr. Nalin Kohli, Mr. Mahesh Jethmalani, Meghnath Desai, Mr. Venkatesh, Pawan Verma, Rajiv Rai, the Samajwadi Party. Thank you very much, gentlemen. Let's debate. Pawan Verma, ye kintu parantu kyun? If there is something good which has happened, you must celebrate it. Why are some parties determined to pick holes in what is a watershed move? Opening this debate is Pawan Verma. Feel free to come and Nalin Kohli and anyone after that. Mr. Verma.
Arnav, if we have decided that even constructive commentary on what has been done is equated with kintu or parantu, then I simply cannot participate in it. I'll straight away walk out. But I want to say to you that we have welcomed and we will welcome any move to fight against this black money, this parallel economy, the link between this black money and the terrorism and the counterfeiting of money. However, I'll put before you, if you are willing with an open mind to hear it.
I always have an open mind, Mr. Verma, and you know that.
Arnav, I'm very well familiar that you have an open mind, though Congress Party welcomes such measures. I think the government should apply its mind to take more extensive and emergency steps to facilitate this impact on a large section of unorganized economy where banking sector is not fully penetrated, such as the poor, the farmer, the daily wage earner, the middle class, the household, where there is a genuine problem of liquidity. Secondly, I want to mention to you that if the government is serious about this erosion of black money, then it must go to the root cause. And the root cause for this generation of black money is the nexus between politics and unaccounted money.
I
mentioned this to you only because the Election Commission has for half a dozen time is supposed to government and to parliament to pass a law appealing 20,000 donations.
You have been given a very comprehensive reply, and as you have probably seen today, I have displayed an unequal amount of patience in responding to you. All in good chase, Mr. Verma, all in good chase. Mr. Verma, it's never too late to turn the point is on the lighter equip, I hope. This last section of the unorganized economy in the banking sector has not penetrated it. It's not a localism for any political party. Today, Mr. Tamram said, and I actually want to open this debate and let Nalin Kohli go ahead and everyone can commit. Today, Mr. Tamram said, oh, don't worry, I was also thinking about it in the past. We also considered it, but we didn't do it. So my question to Mr. Tamram is, if you considered it, then why are you helping Dawood Ibrahim till now?
Yeah.
Because you can't talk about the Aam Aadmi today. Because the dirty cash is funding Dawood Ibrahim. The dirty cash is leading to 2007 Hyderabad blast, which was caused by the distribution of the dirty cash. You can't get away with saying, oh, it occurred to me, but I didn't do it because the Aam Aadmi would be inconvenience. Mr. Pawan Verma, the Aam Aadmi is inconvenience with Dawood Ibrahim. Not being able to take a certain amount of money from the ATM for 2 days, the Aam Aadmi is inconvenience when there is a bomb blast in India. So I don't agree with Mr. Tamram.
Please, now let me intervene. Mr. Goswami, please.
Nalin Kohli is countering you. Yeah. I'll only intervene occasionally.
Mr. Goswami, I think that the important thing to be said about Congress party is they are not coming up with the constructive criticism. What they are coming up with is the deconstruction model. They are coming up with also, if I may say, a deconstruction model to attack the government and a construction model to somehow find the method by which the current method of stopping the flow of 500 and 1000 rupee notes is thwarted. So this raises an important question. Why is the Congress party fear-mongering? Why is the Congress party raising this ifs and buts when they all know that the biggest source of money not with the common man, not with 80% of this country, 90% of India, that goes out there, honestly earns it, and has no capacity to stock the money in sacks or in rooms or in other places.
That's 10 seconds. Yes, Pawan Verma, go ahead.
Nalin, while we welcome this move, would you or would you not agree that this move requires some special effort by the government?
Pavanji, get into it now.
I understood your question, but
please understand, from tomorrow morning, you can pass the judgment. Why are you rushing to pass the judgment even now? 1 minute, MR. May I please answer this? What Mr. Verma is saying, may I please answer this, MR? From tomorrow morning, when the banks open, you will see the government ready on this matter. No, this is a direct question to the Prime Minister of India. Narendra Modi ji said that there will be a period of inconvenience. Now, what is the cause of inconvenience? 85% of the currency in the market is 500 and 1000 rupee notes. So you obviously have a change of 2 new currency notes, which will be 2000 and 500. And at the same time, you are going to have 100, which will increase more. In all of it, if there is slight inconvenience, we acknowledge. But what is more important? No poor person is going to lose their money. They can deposit it. Yeah, sure, they cannot withdraw as much, but they can use their checks. Special efforts are being made by the government, and banks are also working on Saturday and Sundays.
What do you mean by slight inconvenience, Mr. Kohli? For you, it is slight inconvenience because you are talking about hordes of money, bags of money, and everything. But for the common man in the street, even a few 500 rupees matter. Quoting a live example, yesterday I talked to a vegetable vendor. He told me that he collected all the 500 rupees note and gave them the change back. Next day, he wanted to buy fresh vegetables, but he could not buy. He lost his earning today. He lost his wage.
Are you reporting to Shravan Pawar or Rahul Gandhi? Don't give me the Rahul Gandhi line. Don't lie on television, ma'am.
These are not lies, these are facts. Come to the streets with me and prove me wrong. Ask Narendra Modi to come with me.
Ma'am, I travel by taxi and each one of them has welcomed it. So you think you have the authority to speak for the whole country? I am hyperbole. Because the feet are shaken on the ground and the ground doesn't exist with you anymore. There is no harm in the one example you pick. But go in streets and ask people how much they are happy about the black money being called. But you have to question it.
No.
Maybe she has taken the black economy that are made off.
Nalin, just wait. Do you have any stake in black money? Do you, Clyde?
No, I do not have. It's just that you're calling it a lie.
Then why are you getting so stressed?
No, I'm not.
You're deliberately creating
No.
paranoia. Now,
I want to counter that.
Meghna Desai on this debate, what you are trying to do is deliberately creating paranoia. Now, upon Meghna Desai first and then Rajiv Rai.
Arnav, this is the most revolutionary step any Indian government has taken in the last 70 years. And while there will be short-term inconveniences, the long-run consequences of it are going to be profound. Not only in terms of redistributing income, not only in terms of empowering the guilty of stacks of money in their homes, but also curing Indian politics out of dirty money. I think the government should be congratulated. It is interesting, no political party could do this, but we have done it. I think Indian politics have to rethink the way it does things. It is not just a demonetization of large currency notes like Moradi decided. It is a replacement of one sort of currency by another. If government
Nalin, if it's indeed so historic, let me try and understand from the other side. Let me try and understand from the other side what the Samajwadi Party has to say. Does Samajwadi Party has any stake in black money? I presume. Why are you laughing? I'm asking a very serious question, sir.
Arnav, it's a very laughable question because you are asking a political party whether they have black money.
But I think the job of a journalist is to cross-verify as much as possible.
As a
I'm
chartered
just asking a
accountant,
question, not making an accusation, sir.
As a chartered accountant, let me laugh because I know what the
now
truth is.
Now I want Lord Desai to be on this debate and everybody comes on the program and says, I don't have black money. We never knew what black money is. No rich businessman in India has the black money. No corrupt bureaucrats in India has the black money. But that poor man has the black money. I mean, what exactly is happening over here, Meghna Desai?
Let me put it this way. For a very long time in India, poor has been used in excuse for not doing radical things. But this time it's very simple. Black money and white money all look the same. The poor only uses white money and there will be inconvenience for a very small number of days. But that should not be used as an argument for never doing anything. That is the issue. Issue that the common man is inconvenienced. Common man is willing to be inconvenienced.
Pawan Verma, is this not the biggest anti-corruption reform that in one swipe we removed the deep-rooted problem of black money? Is this not the biggest anti-corruption reform since independence, Mr. Verma?
Yeah, I heard your question. Can you allow me to speak?
Yes, Mr. Verma, go ahead.
Thank you so much. Arnav, I asked you a question from the very beginning. Why has not the provision in the Representation of People Act, which allows nameless donation to all political parties, which is actually the bridge of all black money? Secondly, there is a lot of black money that is lying in gold and Benami property. We need to unearth it. We need to unearth it that as well. Unless that is unearthed, merely demonetizing few currency notes won't solve the
Mr.
problem.
Verma, you are talking systematic issues. You are making 5 points at a time, but you are not answering my
I asked
question,
you a
sir.
question. I answered a question.
You are making 12 points at a time, but you are not answering my question.
Just give me 10 seconds
No,
more,
Mr.
I wish to make my
I
last
object
point.
you now, Mr. Verma. When I'll stop you, you'll say, I'll never get to speak, or I'll walk out. This is what you will do. But the fact of the matter is, I asked you a 30-second question, and you gave me a 7.4-minute reply.
I gave you
I did
only
not.
3 points, sir.
No,
No, I
very
gave you
good
only
points,
3
very
points.
good question. But please answer my question. Why is everybody helping Dawood Ibrahim till now?
Answer this.
How can you ask this question from me? This question is so atrocious.
This is
I don't know
not
how
at
to
all
answer
atrocious,
it.
sir.
No. How can you ask a rhetorical
This is
question
not
from
at
me?
all a rhetorical question. We want the country to change, and when you say the issue of inconvenience, I will call it a camouflage by the political parties. Mahesh Jethmalani is on the debate. Let Mahesh Jethmalani respond to you. Mahesh Jethmalani, this is an issue of inconvenience which you have dealt with at length.
Arnav, before question about inconvenience, it's a red area. Of course, when you undertake such a major reform designed to attack many evils on many fronts, there will be some disruption in the short term. But in the long term, things are going to settle down. And you know, beware of the politicians that the poor are inconvenienced. When you get the politicians talking in the name of the poor, your antenna must go up. Yeah. Now let me tell you something. It is Mr. Chidambaram who said during the UP regime that more than the money lying abroad is the money lying in this country. Now let me tell you one more fact. When you take the only most drastic step to eradicate black money, which not only solves the problem of funding of terrorism, but it brings a whole lot of multitude of people into the banking system. And people like Pawan Verma casting doubts on the
question
application.
of-
Yes, Pawan Verma, you can answer it. Yes, go ahead.
First of all, Mahesh bhai, why are you getting so excited about this?
I am not getting excited, I am just making my point.
No. We have welcomed it and we are equally committed like you without taking it on us.
Don't undermine a good step on the other hand.
I did not say that this was not a welcome move.
You are supposed to come to the point, initiate the policy decisions which are more efficacious.
I'll tell you. I have mentioned this to you earlier also. You are a lawyer. You know
No,
the
but
innocent person
Pawan
who don't know
Verma,
what black money is.
in one stroke the government has rendered, but less the paper money. This
I
is lying with all the
want to
politicians.
know,
Yes, Mr.
Actually,
Verma.
sir, they are doing it at a juncture.
Please don't get at
So
any meaning,
Mr. Verma, just use an analogy to take your point further. You are in a situation when you are saying that there is a tree that only grows rotten apple. There is a tree that only grows rotten apple. You have used that occasionally, that we should go to an apple and whisper to an apple that Mr. Apple, if you don't change, if you don't grow, I'm going to pluck you away and come back and do nothing and look gloriously at the tree that is full of rotten apples. You are saying that there is a better solution than burning the tree that is full of rotten apples. You want to reform the apples. They won't. What the PM has done, he has burned the tree that is full of rotten apples,
Yes,
Mr.
yes,
Verma.
yes, yes.
Chalo, you're not listening
No,
to
I
me.
think you are not
not
listening
I
to
want
me.
to counter that. I want to counter that.
I'm just saying, just go to the root of all the problems.
I also do not believe that this is going to be the last step in the war against corruption and black money. This may be one of the several steps that you should know, right from putting an SIT in place, then the Foreign Assets Disclosure Act, and then there was an amnesty scheme. These are a part of long process. I will tell you what is coming next. The next is the nationalization of all the wealth outside the India that is going to come, and that is going to be a part of that.
I want not decide to be back on this debate, and before Pawan Verma, before I come back to you, I just want to make a point that Chittambaram in 2009 had acknowledged that fake currency note is a huge racket and not a cotton industry. Make that decide to you.
Yeah, listen, there is more black money within the country than there is outside. And it is the money within the country which is corrupting us. I know what he said, that Electoral Commission should do such and such
Yeah,
things.
yeah, certainly.
But that is secondary. First of all, eliminating the outside black money, and if in future new one comes, we'll eliminate those again and again. Till that time people realize that it is a crime and a loss-making proposition.
Yeah. Okay,
this
Lord,
is what needs to be done, this is what we have done.
Lord Desai, your response to the issue of convenience, sir.
Inconvenience at most 1 week, if not 3 or 4 days. As soon as the new notes come back on the market, people will get their money back and their problems will be solved.
Okay, Pawan Verma, I mean, why didn't you acknowledge political differences apart? You have been running a bitter battle in Bihar. Narendra Modi and Nitish Kumar are in opposition against each other. And perhaps it's an urge on your part to be a perennial criticism. But Pawan Verma, when there are steps like this which are taken, I think you should agree with
You
us.
should agree on that. You should.
I agree to you, Mr. Arnab. I agree to
So
you.
thank you very much, gentlemen, for joining us this afternoon for this significant debate on demonetization. I hope that our viewers had a great time watching this performance. Thank you.
Wow, ladies and gentlemen, can I have a huge round of applause? I must say that is quite an interesting debate, and these students did full justice to the book. Can I have a huge round of applause once again, all of you? Wow, thank you so much. We'd like to thank you for conducting the debate session so wonderfully. They all came into the role and gave their 100%. So this is a big achievement, giving your 100% on stage when so many people are looking at you. So ladies and gentlemen, now let's move on to our next segment that's quite important. Yes, the prize giving ceremony, the felicitation ceremony. Now I would like to thank all of you for being such a wonderful part of my English home and giving us so beautiful memories. And to do the honors, I would like to invite on stage Mrs. Bakshi. Ladies and gentlemen, she's an educationist. Not only this, she has a rich experience of more than 40 years and she's been role model to many students. So ma'am, I would like you to please come on this stage and do the honors. Ladies and gentlemen, can we have a huge round of applause for Mrs. Bakshi? Please ma'am. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, we are running late, so in interest of time, I request all the participants to please come as soon as possible. I would like to invite on stage Christy Janvi, please. Can we have a huge round of applause? We have Christy Janvi, congratulations.